Hey y'all, you know what's crazy? If you've been conditioned to believe that rest is something that you earn and not a birthright, when literally God set aside a whole day every single week dedicated to no work but resting, when God literally designed your body to force you to go to sleep, even when you don't want to sleep and you can stay up for days at a time, you can only stay up for so many hours before you literally start to shut down. God literally made you with rest in mind. Like, resting is a part of your expectation as a human being on this planet. And literally, you've been conditioned to think that resting and not doing something and not working is bad. You're made to feel guilty if you're not always being productive. Where did that mindset come from? People talk about all these Bible verses that talk about how we're supposed to work, and if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. But literally the idea that a person would be even more productive with their time or do something other than work, and that if you're not working, you're not productive, literally is anti-biblical. You are designed to rest. You are designed to include rest a part of your daily life. You are designed to experience rest regularly. You're not designed to just only rest when you work yourself to the bone and now you've earned yourself a vacation. Like, literally, you're supposed to rest regularly. You're supposed to recharge regularly. You're supposed to get sleep regularly. Sitting down and eating food is resting. It's saying, my body needs to recharge. People don't even think about that. And yet, instead of dedicating a specific time to eating and just focusing, people feel the need, literally, to do things while they're eating. Like, even your apportioned time for rest, you don't even take to rest. You literally say, oh, it's the weekend, I'm not at work, so now I get to do all this household chores. That is still work. I'm not suggesting you don't keep your house clean. I'm not suggesting you don't cook. I'm not suggesting you don't take care of important things. I'm just saying, like, maybe we got to think about how we handle life and how we structure life, because we just feel like we don't have enough hours. But the problem is there's so many things fighting for our attention. You know, whether that's a job that expects you to be at that job for 9 hours a day, and then in addition to that, having to commute maybe an hour and a half both ways, that's 11 hours of your day. You don't have much time. You don't have time. And people need breaks. People, even if you don't give yourself breaks, you will take breaks throughout your day naturally anyway. Like, even if you never give yourself a break, you will naturally take a break. You will naturally say, I'm really tired, and so therefore I'm just going to sit down for 5 minutes. I'm going to go get a drink of water. I'm going to go walk to the mailbox. And you will do these things to distract yourself. And then we call it procrastination. I'm like, no, your body's literally signaling to you that you need downtime, you need a break. But where did we get to the point where we started to feel like literally resting, which is a birthright that God gave us, is a burden? Where did we really start feeling that way? Where does that come from? The only instances where I can see that rest is a break that you earn coming in society, only way I can see that is through slavery. And slavery has existed for a long time in this world, but only slavery says, I get to determine when you stop, I get to determine when you rest. But God literally decided, this is when you work and this is when you don't. So I just want to know, why as human beings we don't think that we deserve rest? Why do we feel like we have to earn rest? Why do we feel like not doing something is unproductive? Like, where did that come from? Like, whose thinking did you borrow in that? So I just want you to be aware of what you're saying and the implications in which you're saying something. Because if you think that you only are resting after you've earned it, you're setting yourself up for a life of, without the fruits of the Spirit. You have to understand when to say no, when to push back, when to work, when to not work. And I'm telling you this as somebody who used to be a workaholic, and who God convicted me out of my workaholic attitude. That way of thinking is unproductive and is not intentioned by God. Working yourself to the bone, stressing yourself out, feeling like you don't deserve rest and don't deserve sleep and don't deserve these things if you're not productive. I just had to say that to somebody, because other people may look at you like you're lazy. There's always going to be somebody that's going to be willing to work harder than you, that's going to be willing to do more and go above and beyond. Like, there's always going to be that person. You might be working a job and you're like, I'm going to move up in this job, and I know I have to put in these 16 hours a day to do it. And it's like, well, did God tell you to do that? Because if God didn't tell you to do that, then don't do that. Rest. You may be working in, some type of environment, and everyone, that's what everyone does. No one rests. No one, everyone, they make statements like sleep is for the weak and I'll sleep when I'm dead. And you're like, you're not my group. You may be working around people who feel like, it's crazy. Like, if you think about it, there are people who are literally millionaires on this planet who are 6-figure earners and up and millionaires, and they feel like, I can't take a vacation because I'm not where I need to be yet. And it's just like, who's your God? Because I'm going to tell you something, where you spend majority of your time, in your thoughts, in your mind, your energy, that's your God. So I say all that for you as you're trying to figure out, how to structure your life in a way that's productive, is be mindful of the things that you're doing that you are making your God. You're making work your God. You're making restlessness your God. So then when you're anxious and tired and depressed and unhappy, and you're like, why am I not feeling good? And why don't I have energy? And you feel all those things every single day, then you've got to ask yourself the important questions, which is, what are you doing to contribute to that? And did you make work a God? Because if work is a God, then you are suffering from that. So I am going to go now so I can go fill up on gas at Costco. But love you. God bless you. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.